Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. The Sunday Satsang, Radha Kunda, and it's April 2nd, 2023. So basically people ask questions and we try to give answers. So, do you have any questions? Questions? It doesn't work. I sink down too far down in the Satsang. Yasha. I go too far down, it sinks. It doesn't. When my legs are up here, my butt's down there, so it's really uncomfortable. Yeah. It's good for sleeping, with a baby sleeping, So, anyway.
That's like.
Yeah, Hari Katha his butt, so he can sleep on. Anyway, it'll be used, no doubt. That's the main thing. Yeah, but you go too low. Any questions? You have questions, sir?
Too many.
Okay.
But
One by one.
how can you maintain a fixed directive on a particular path in bhakti or in the various marks that are?
How can we fixed on the path of sadhana? Yoga sadhana, Gyan sadhana, or Bhakti sadhana, any particular path, you're asking that. Well, in any line of spiritual practice, or practically any endeavor of human life, there's the foundation, the basis, the beginning. The foundation, the beginning, the basis. What are you trying to achieve? Why are you taking this up? Then there's the practice itself, and then there's the goal, the culmination, the final point. What do you hope to achieve? So in technical terms, it's called Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. Prayojan, the word prayojan means ultimate necessity. The word is a Sanskrit word. It's usually translated as goal, G-O-A-L, the goal. Well, I'm taking up this Hatha Yoga class. I have to practice every day for an hour. I see my teachers Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the goal is to become a yoga teacher, a master of yoga. So I can teach it, maybe make money, and be healthy and help people. Many goals I have in my mind. So, but the basis of it, the foundation of Hatha Yoga is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So there's some shastras, some bases, some principles that works on balancing the chakras and dealing with the prakriti of pitta, kapha, the body, broad pranayama, mind, pancha prana. There are many techniques and bases and knowledge. It's knowledge, practice, and goal. So in the path of bhakti, which I know most about, I know something about other paths. I know most about, not everything, but by any means, most about bhakti marg, the way of bhakti. And the way of bhakti and all the other paths, to be steady, to be inspired, to have determination, enthusiasm to go on, you have to be enchanted and captivated by the goal. So the most important part is the prayojan, the goal, the end point. The end point is more important than the beginning point. Like, in other words, we have a relationship, say husband and wife. So the purpose of any human relationship is love and happiness. So bottom line is happiness, because that's the nature. We have a primordial instinctive drive to be happy, because there's some touch of Anand in the jiva, the minute touch of Anand. By constitution, every jiva has the desire to be happy. Every animal tries to avoid pain or fear or dangerous situations. Like a tiger who sees an elephant in the forest, he gets a little scared, although he's a big tiger, because the elephant can beat up a tiger. He can kill a tiger. So he has fear. So in Bhakti Marg, we're a channel. So in the relationship, the purpose is love and happiness. So that's the goal. I'm having this relationship, not just a relationship. I want happiness. I want happiness. I want satisfaction and fulfillment. So that's a personal relationship with a boss and an employee, a mother and daughter and son, and husband and wife, or lover and beloved, whatever's going on. So in ours is Bhakti Marg, which is a personal relationship with Krishna, Ram or Vishnu. And so the goal of that relationship is happiness, God's happiness, and my happiness, and my satisfaction, his satisfaction. This is basic to drive. So the goal is that, but our goal is love. Bhakti means love. So our goal is to have love for God, which will be distributed. If you have love for God, you distribute it everywhere and anywhere you are, because God is everywhere, in everyone and everything. So Bhakti Marg, and so the whole idea of going to Krishna, to being with Krishna, having Krishna in our heart, and being in the heart of Krishna, inspires us to steadily practice bhakti every day. We don't have any idea. We don't have any. There's one advances in his personal relationship with Krishna. Then he doesn't have. He loses the desire for liberation. In the beginning, we want out. We're suffering. We see all everywhere. There's birth, death, old age, and disease. There's so much anxiety and suffering. I want to go to another world. And they say, Vaikuntha, there's no anxiety, there's no suffering, there's no death. There's always bliss, there's always happiness. So I want to go to that world. I want to get out of this world. Because we think that this world is not good. But the real thing we have to change, and the real source of happiness, is in consciousness. Consciousness, whatever world you're in, if your consciousness is absorbed in a loving relationship with Krishna, you'll be happy, you'll be blissful. You have all the tolerance. If you live in the material world, you have all the tolerance to carry on with life's tribulations and challenges. You have a friend inside your heart that loves you more than anyone. And you know you're inside Krishna's heart more than anyone else's heart in the whole universe. And he loves and takes care of us like no one we could ever imagine. So bhakti, what keeps people, why you see staying in bhakti, because they have a very tight, loving relationship with Krishna. That's the main thing. So that's why knowledge is required. Bhakti is simple to practice. Chant, dance, and take prasadam. They say like that. Just chant, dance. So everybody says, okay, I'm on board. Count me in. Where's the prasad? Oh, we just have cheese, sabji, and puris, and halva, and sweet rice. Is that okay? Well, that's okay. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's pineapple, walnut, halva, and mint, chocolate chip, sweet rice. I don't know, whatever you can imagine. Pizza, whatever, I don't know. Pizza. So that's nice, but that, if you have intelligence, because bhakti can't be sustained without a mind. That what I said, chant, dance, take prasadam, is very happy and health providing, and it creates happy hormones in your brain and mind. By exercise and dancing and raising your arms, jumping up and down, it's good pranayama, and all kinds of happy hormones come when you eat all that halva. And so you get happiness with body and mind, but you don't get inspiration with intelligence without studying Shabda Brahman. And Prabhupada always said that bhakti won't be successful without intelligence. Intelligence required. So intelligence is used to study Shastra. So before we really get practicing bhakti, we have to have a strong foundation in tattva, in the spiritual knowledge of who am I, who is Krishna, what is this world, what is the spiritual world, what is proper action, improper action, and what is the effect of time. So these are the 5 subjects summarized and nicely presented in the Upanishads, and in essence is told in Gita. Jiva Tattva, Bhagavad Tattva, Karma Tattva, Prakriti Tattva, Kala Tattva, and Karma Tattva. These are the 5 subjects of reality and the 5 subjects of any yogic practice. So study and cultivation and enchantment with the goal of love and bliss and happiness in a personal relationship with Krishna and Radharani and all the Vrishvasis of the spiritual realm. These are required. Then the practice that's in the middle. If you have the top of the sandwich and the bottom of the sandwich, it's understood there's something in the middle. So the top of the bottom of the sandwich is Sambandha, top of the sandwich is Prayojan, and the middle of the sandwich is Abhideya. So you want to be steady in practice, you have to study, you have to have, what's the goal? Well, my goal is to go back to Godhead. That's nothing, that means nothing. Go back to Godhead, okay, I get a big refrigerator box, a 2-meter tall refrigerator, I paint on it, Godhead. And you say, I say, get in that box, this is Godhead. Yeah, you want to go back together. That's right. The box says Godhead. I paint the box white and I write Godhead on it. I put a door on it. The Godhead is when you get in a cardboard box and smile. We the devotees sit in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. In Kapila Muni's Shiksha, he says, a devotee thinks going back to Godhead is hell. He doesn't have any interest in it. He doesn't want Sivaprimukta Slokya. He doesn't want Mukti, he wants Seva. He wants seva. Seva means he wants love, not chill out in Vaikuntha. Have a nice gold house in Vaikuntha, and and all the Sharsti, opulence, and forearm form, and look beautiful form. He doesn't care anything about that. He wants love. Love is driving him or her. So therefore, devotees. Nadana Jana Sundaram Kavitam Vajagadichikami Mama Jama Jama Shri Bhagavata Bhakti. Yes, Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, you want to go back to Godhead? Everybody down the street in that institution there, they're all saying they want to go back to Godhead. He says, no, I don't want to go. Who is that says they want to go? A lot of people say they want to go back to Godhead. You ever heard that term? Yeah? Back home, back to Godhead. Lord Chaitanya says, I'm home, love reach my home. I want to go to Krishna and see Krishna and love Krishna. He says, no, I don't care about wealth and women and anything in this world. I don't care about liberation. I care about love with Krishna. This is Radharani prayer. It's Radharani's ideal bhakta. So bhaktas have the same prayer. I don't care about this Swargalok, Tavalok. Idea of going back to God means going to heaven. Christians say go to heaven. Muslims say go to heaven. And Hari Krishna say go to heaven. We say no thanks. My heaven is right here. My heaven is right here. Everyone has their own heaven. Your heart is heaven. Heaven is my heart. See, Goloka is your heart. Goloka Dham is our heart. But I don't mean Germany either. There's some place in Germany called Goloka Dham or something like that. Some temple, farm or something. Rajagokul, the spiritual world. So whatever yoga or gyan or hatha yoga, whatever bhakti you're practicing, you have to learn about what is the spiritual world, what is love, how do they love there, and how there's no envy there, no one leaves there, no one ever falls from there. You go there, you're eternally locked in, you're knocked up, you can't get out. Who wants to get out of love? Anybody who has half a brain wants to escape love? That's why I have nut houses, because some people are nuts, so put them up in a psychiatric hospital. But if anyone has love, they don't want to let go of it, they don't want to lose it. Koprain Dham Vrindavan. Dham means location, a place, an area, a reality. a plane of existence. It's called Dham. It's a plane of love. There's no where love reigns supreme. There's no room for envy. That can't exist. It's a domain of love. There's no envy there. There's no anger there. There's no jealousy there. There's nothing but bliss and love and service and mutual respect and honor of each other. No selfishness, no ego trips. It's the holy Dham of Vrindavan. Is that okay for your question? That's one down. We had to say a whole lot. So. No, anyone else has a question? Anyone else raising their hand here? Okay, he's sure.
How to deal with problems when it comes to our life, some problems, outward problems from other persons, and it affects our sadhana, our practice of devotion.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I know about it. I just got a message in the mail the other day. I couldn't sleep all night. It affected my bhajan of sleeping. That's important. Bhajan, night sleeping. Before you take rest, you get a message that keeps you awake all night thinking, what's going on? Who wrote this? Is it his right address? It's got my name on it. It must be to me. So the question's being asked, how do we deal with adhyatmic bhotika, adibhotika, adivika, klesha, difficulties, problems that come our way from our body, from our family, from our friends, from our employees, from nature? Problems get pretty severe and pretty heavy sometimes, and it affects our practice of bhakti bhajan. What do we do? How do we carry on? Well, Vishnu Chakravarti uses a nice analogy in 11th Canto commentary. He says, like a fighter's a horseman, and he's wielding a sword. Maybe we can relate to this. And he's riding a horse, and he's fighting the enemy. Sometimes he gets knocked off his horse, or his horse gets shot with an arrow, gets killed. And then he gets knocked off his horse and loses his sword. But then, and he gets a few arrows in his chest. But he's a courageous soldier. He pulls out the arrows and sets some herbs in there, because in the Vedic times, the soldiers carried sachets. They carried little bags of herbs with them. Pain-killing herbs and different Rasayan and special herbs, Ayurvedic herbs, for curing cuts and stopping bleeding and stuff like that. So they carried it on their belt, in their belts. So he stopped a few, pull out the arrows, stop a few herbs in there to stop the bleeding, and then he gets another horse. Somebody comes, one of his servants brings another horse. He gets up on the horse and ceases fighting. So that's what bhakti means. Bhakti means to fight. So we get knocked over a horse and get our sword knocked off out of our hand and lose our cutting edge of bhakti, to get some slight setback in our sadhana. But the solution to our problem is to get back on the horse and keep riding. Because every problem comes out of nowhere, every problem's going to disappear into nowhere. It's only time brought them out of nowhere to our front in our life, and time will take them out to nowhere in due course. So why they're here, why the problems are there, they're here to teach us. Problems are here to teach us many things about Krishna's love. Like sometimes I wrote a little poem, I say, Krishna's love may come as a kiss, it may come as a kiss, a slap, a loving embrace. It's all needed to win the race. So sometimes you get slapped, Maya gives us a slap, boom. And then sometimes we get embraced by Krishna and get kissed by Krishna, and he holds us tight to his chest. We feel very close to him and very near to us. Sometimes he just throws us, get out. Hey, come on, man, you're not being nice to me. Let's see how much you love me. You love me when it gets, because they say in business, when the tough get going, when it gets tough, the tough get going. It's really tough. It's really tough. It's difficult to go on. So I have to get more tough. I have to get more hard. And so, you're a good rider. You're a good horse rider. So horse throws the kick, shove its back. They don't just fall off in 1 minute. Hold on. So, you and I and everyone in life, and especially more, not so much in life, but more in bhakti, we face more opposition and more difficulties than regular material life, because we're going somewhere extraordinary. So we're going to the spiritual world. So we're going to get a lot more testing, because Krishna has to think, do I want to live for the rest of eternity with this lady? With this guy? Wait a minute, let me test him. It's his house, it's his place. We may think he's going to take us the way we are. He's not going to take us the way we are. He's going to make us the way he wants us to be. He's going to shape us and make us the way exactly how he wants us to be. So the sooner we realize that, the less bumpy our ride will be. So the age-old solution is tolerate and keep chatting and keep doing your stay. I know I had some difficulties exactly 10 years ago this year, and it was like really difficult. But I said, what to do? I got two options. I can stop and cry forever, or carry on, pick up and keep going. Am I empty? Am my gas tank empty? Am I dead? I'm not dead. I still have some life. So you have life, serve Krishna, and let's see what he does. When you get in the car, they say, buckle your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. So when you become a devotee, Krishna says, okay, you're Krishna Dasi, buckle your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Here we go. Are you ready? I don't know what kind of driver are you. You'll find out what kind of driver I am. I have a four-wheel drive off-the-road vehicle. So be in for some fun and bumps. So it can't be too bad. Just smile and go on. It didn't work out one time, it'll work out the next time. It didn't work out the second time. I know people go the third time, it's kind of working out better than the other two. They're still on the third try. There's always a fourth one. You have friends that love you, and Krishna Radharani loves you, Lita Sakhi loves you, Rupa Manjari loves you, your Guru Sakhi loves you. This world, whatever, what to do, this world, they don't understand you. It's not your fault, it's the world's fault. Right? I'm perfect, but you got problems. Did you know? I'm perfect. You got problems with me, that's your problem. I don't think like that. Too bad, it would be a lot more easy to go. I don't know if I answered your question. I don't know if I can answer your question. I don't know if anybody can answer your question. But stay in Vrindavan and do bhakti. I know that'll work. That's what I did. And I was sad for a long time. Now I'm feeling a lot better. So, I hope it doesn't last long for you. So I want you to be happy. Okay, what's going on now? If your friend have a question, you can translate. He's in Durvasa Rag or what? Veda Krishna's in Pravasa Rag? Sitting a long distance away from his beloved? He's grounded. Not let him go. She's in mine. Cute little kids. These guys usually play together. This little guy and this little girl. And she's saying, nah, I'm not playing with you. That's good. Is this Hoitikiman or Hoitikiman? Does this man have a cause or it has no cause? No cause, okay, that's the best. You see it right in front of our eyes. That's what Radha Krishna do all, that's what Radha Krishna do all the time. Anger without a cause. Jaya Radhe Shah. What's going on? He's playing his flute trying to call her. Not a very good tune now. Okay, I better play a different flute. Question? Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Maharaj, what does it mean to have Swarup Darshan?
Swarup Darshan. Oh, what's true? You mean Swarup Damodar? Or?
Your own Swarup Darshan.
Okay. I assumed that, but it wasn't a very particular question. What does it mean to have what does it mean to have darshan of your true spiritual form? I think the first question that should be asked is, when does that happen? So according to our acharyas, one has darshan of one's spiritual body at the level of Baba Bhakti. Because the spiritual body is transcendental, it can only be seen with transcendental eyes. Because what is the spiritual body made of? The spiritual body is made of prem. It's called prem deya. Sometimes it's called a bhav deya. Bhav deya means Mahabhav. Say it's a bhav deya. It's Sri Krishna Mahabhav deya. Bhav deya is short for Mahabhav deya in terms of Madhura Rati. But in terms of other Rati, other Sthairati, it's called Bhav Deya. That's the generic term for spiritual bodies. It's called Bhav Deya or Prem Deya. But specifically in Madhurati, for Gopi Mantris, they have a Mahabhav Deya. To have Mahabhav Deya, you have to have eyes full of Bhav. Premanchana Charita Bhakti Lochana, to see it actually. We may get sporty, you may get some hazy vision of our Swarup before that, as some special mercy of Guru Sakhi and Yogamaya and Krishna. But the tangible, actual seeing, directly seeing, is seeing of Baba Bhakti. That's what I see described in Shastra. Do you have something to add to that?
Well, I was explained from one devotee that actually that time you die, like current identity actually dies when you have Swarup.
One devotee answered this question by saying, when you have Swarup Darshan, you die because
you
you...
in identity way, that you don't anymore identify with this positive concept of your current.
I haven't seen that described, that you lose identity, but it makes sense because what the person answered is that when you have darshan, because if you come to Baba, you have no longer any material identity. Because Baba is where pure bhakti begins, to the love of Baba. Before that is Sakti and Ruchi and Nishta. Those are all practiced in the sadhaka root, in the sadhaka, tangible deha. But when you get to Baba, then you realize you're sitting there, then you start really pure bhakti at Baba Bhakti platform. And then your material identity is obviously, that's the conclusion. Because it's an obvious conclusion, the Goswamis will specifically write that. They say when you come to Baba, your pure bhakti begins at Baba Bhakti, and Siddhanta of pure bhakti means Baba Bhakti is very rarely attained. You decry liberation because you're absorbed in transcendental reality, and that's where you begin Swarasiki Bhajan. At that point, at the level of Baba Bhakti, you enter the Lila and your Swarupa Pravesh, your Swarup become Lila Pravesh at the level of Baba, so you're staying in Lila all day, so you can't be in Lila with a material identity. So whatever that person says, I agree with that person. This is a natural, logical conclusion. This is an understood conclusion of saying that when you come to Baba Bhakti platform, you have the eligibility to see your Siddha there, and then at that level, Baba Bhakti is when real Bhakti begins, with no contamination, just little slight. Madhurya Kundalini says until Prema, there's a chance for maybe aparat, even level of Baba Bhakti, a chance to make aparat to Vaishnava. Slight, very a hairline chance, which disappears at Prema. So it's not true that when you come to Baba and see your Siddha there, that you give up, you die. You give up your material identity, I agree with that. Because you don't come back, when you come to Baba, you don't backpedal into a Sakti or Nishta or Ruchi. You come to Baba, you stay in Baba. It's irreversible position. It's just like when the sun rises, you can't say go back down. As soon as the sun rises, it's going to keep going more. So it's called Prem Encore. It's called the root of Prem. Baba is called Prem Encore. It's the first sight of the rays of Prem is symptom of Baba Bhakti. So Prem usually quickly follows Baba. It may also take another lifetime for Prem to manifest. But generally it manifests in one lifetime. The same lifetime, one attains Baba, he'll attain Prema. But it says it can also happen next life.
Is there any specific process to get to Swarup Darshan, like any practice to get us to that darshan?
The question is there any specific practice to get us to Swarup Darshan? Well, I can say I haven't heard specifically this described like this from my teacher, nor have I read this, but what we do read in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in the later part, Rupa Goswami says, if one comes to Baba Bhakti by the mercy of the Nitya Parishads that shine their heart, their beam of prema and love on our heart, and give us that contact with Baba. It comes from up, down, and enters our heart. If we have Baba, if we don't do this particular practice, we won't get darshan or swarup. What is the practice? Rupa Goswami describes it. It's called sadharani karan. Sadharani karan. It means, he explains sadharani karan means, and Sri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj explains it in an English book. It's translated from Bengali. It's called Rasa Darshan. And Nectar Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu explains, if one comes to the level of Baba Bhakti, which is a very high level of Bhakti, it's practically perfection, and he or she doesn't practice sadhana and sadhana, they won't come to prema, they won't get darshan of Krishna or the Swarup. So sadhana means you have to, it's called merge your identity, which is what we're doing. What we're doing is, as Rag Bhakti also, we're basically doing the same thing. But Bhava Bhakti, sadhana means you merge your identity with the Nitya Parishads of Vrindavan, like Lita Sakhi, Vishaka Sakhi, Tulsi Manjari, or Rupa Manjari, and meditate on the Leelas, and then, because now you're meditating on a Bhavdeya, then you'll experience the prema in their heart, then you'll be able to experience Ras. He said you won't be able to have Rasa Swad unless you do the practice of sadhana karan. But practice, in this book Rasa Darsha, Anatas, he intimates that the practice of sadhana karan, we should do it even before Bhava Bhakti. That constitutes what he presents, what Anatas Babaji presents as Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, which I'm always presenting like that also. We have to mix our hearts with the hearts of Tulsi Manjari and the pastimes and sevas that she's describing, she's doing. We love Kusa Manjari and it works with Stoali, and try to become one in identity. Have to merge our identity with the heart of Tulsi Manjari, Rupa Manjari, Lita Vishaka. That's the sum and substance of Ragmark and Manjari Baba Pasana and Manjari Rati. And so we're already preparing for Baba Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti, and that's what Nandas Babaji taught his students also. It's described in Bhakti Sindhu, second part, there's two parts to Bhana Swami's English, this is the second part. It's called Sadhana Karan. Sadhana means equalization, common, like sadhana karan means practice. Sadhana karan means equalizing, making oneness with your heart and the other person's heart. That's what Ragmark is all about. That's why we try to become one with the Gurudev's heart, because Gurudev's a Manjari, he's a Manjari Bhav, and he's doing seva through, so the seva also serves as Guru Sakhi, as one heart. That's why I say love of Guru Bhakti is so important. Guru Bhakti becomes Guru Bhav and Guru Prema. It's all part of the same development, going to the land of Prema and Bhav. So the specific, a question was asked, there's some specific sadhana we can practice to more quickly realize our Bhav Swarup, to see our Bhava Swarup, the sadhana karan, which I think you're doing all right now. Most people practicing Radha Bhakti are following that way of practice. It's called molding and modeling. Modeling, no. We're molding our consciousness after the model of Rupa Manjari, Tulsi Manjari, Vishaka, Lita. We're molding our heart, we're molding our heart, our Manjari heart. Heart of our Manjari. Manjari in the making. Building a Manjari. Here's her feet, here's her legs. Anything is a Bhav. Building her Dasi Bhav. Her loyalty, her Dasi Bhav. Manjari Bhav. Nice question. I don't know what the answer is. Question is good. That's a good question. I'll take note of them later and ask my teacher. You're asking questions to the teacher to ask his teacher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Radhe. Jaya Guru Day. Mani Manjari. Look so healthy now. New body. You got a new Manjari body. Trade in your old one. New model looks better. Okay, any questions? Okay. Be happy.
No, maybe I will.
Yeah,
When I
okay.
tune in.
Yeah, okay. No problem. Didi, 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 Didi. Yeah, a lot of Didis. Didi, Didi, Didi. That's her. Grandfather's at work? Good. Internet question. Okay, internet.
Maharaj, why did Mahaprabhu and six Goswamis not recommended Siddha Pranali system if it was so effective?
The question is, why did Mahaprabhu and
Six Goswamis.
six Goswamis not introduce the Siddha system? They did. Because Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first way, second chapter, verse 294, or what is it? Seva Sak Rupena Survena Chatri. He says he's describing how you practice Manjari Bhav, how you practice. He says you have to meditate on your Siddhadeya, you have to meditate on your Sadhakadeya. Do Seva to Radha Krishna as a Sadhaka, do Seva to Radha Krishna as a Siddha. And Lord Chaitanya, he taught to Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said, in your Siddhadeya, render service to Radha Krishna day and night. So Lord Chaitanya and the six Goswamis, they wrote about and they talked about and Lord Chaitanya taught it to Rupa and Sanatan. Rupa and Sanatan wrote about it and Raghunath Das Goswami wrote about it and practiced serving in her Siddhadeya, which has 11 different bhavas, name, form, seva, bhushan, dress, etc. And so they write about Siddhadeya, so they talk about service in the Siddhadeya, Rachi Dina, Radha Krishna Kunja Seva, serve Radha Krishna day and night in the Kunjas in your Siddhadeya. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So how do you get the Siddhadeya? So Jiva Goswami explains in Sandarbhas that the Guru gives the Siddhadeya. He said in verse Bhakti Sandarbha 283 or 312, one of those verses, he says, I meditate on the Siddhadeya given to me by Sri Guru Charan. By the mercy of my lotus feet, my Guru, I am a particular individual Vrishvasi. I have a particular Siddhadeya and Vrindavan given to me by the mercy of my Guru. So it's described in Bhakti Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami, by the mercy of Guru one gets a Siddhadeya. So your question is completely wrong. Mahaprabhu wrote and taught about Siddhadeya and the system coming from Guru, and the six Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das and Sanatan, talk about the Siddhadeya and the Guru gives the Siddhadeya. So giving the Siddhadeya means Siddha Pranali system. So Mahaprabhu taught about Siddha Pranali system, and the six Goswamis taught about it and wrote about it and gave it. In Prem Vilas by Nityananda Das, who was a personal associate of Janamata and disciple of Janamata, Nityananda Parivar, Nityananda Das, who wrote Prem Vilas in chapter 6, he describes how Gopal Bhatta gave Siddha Pranali to Srinivasacharya. Srinivasacharya got the name Mani Manjari. I think Srinivasacharya is Mani Manjari. He got the name and seva and all details of his spiritual performance of Manjari from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. This is in a book by Prem Vilas by Nityananda Das. So there's so many scriptural references to prove that the six Goswamis Mahaprabhu gave Siddha Pranali to their disciples and followers. So whoever asks the question, they should understand what the truth is. Amen. Jaya Sri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. So, should you react to that? Wait. Do you follow up that question? That's enough. You guys quiet now? Yeah.
Isn't it that, okay, Siddha Deha should be given back to you by your guru, and then you can serve on the high level? So this Siddha Deha, is this must that it should be given as Siddha Pranali outwardly, or it can be also given inside, internally, to the heart? From Guru and Krishna Parampara.
The person asking, are there different ways? The body's asking, are there different ways to get Siddha? Does it have to come directly from Guru, or can it come through another means, through a dream or through some spurti or vision, indirectly? Ultimately, the basic answer, where does the Siddha come from? Who gives the Siddha? Krishna gives the Siddha. How Krishna gives the Siddha? That's his arrangement. So he arranged it by swapna, by dream. The famous story in ISKCON, Indra Das Ji, he said he had a dream of Prabhupada. In his dream, Prabhupada gave him a Siddha Pranali in his spiritual body. So that means that Krishna revealed the Siddha to Indra Das through a dream. And in a dream that was arranged by Krishna, Paramatma, Prabhupada gave him the Siddha. So the answer is yes, it can come that way. But our tradition, as I cite the example from the six Goswamis, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is a big guru for IGM, big Parampara Acharya for IGM, he got Siddha Pranali from Vivimayari Goswami, Nityananda Prabhupada. His sixth guru gave him Siddha Pranali, Ekadas Bhav, his manjari through as Kamala Manjari or something. I think his manjari name is Kamala Manjari. His name is Kedarnath Datta. And he got the name Kamala Manjari. Anyway, he got it from his guru. And Rishikesh Ananda, a disciple of Prabhupada, was helping Prabhupada translate the Bengali, it was the Bengali edition. Translate the Bengali edition of Upadeshamrita into English. It was originally written in Sanskrit by Rupa Goswami, Upadeshamrita. In 1974, Rishikesh Ananda was in Mayapur because before that, he had perfectly learned Bengali. He knew Bengali very well. He had a lot of experience with that subject matter because he was in Gaudiya Vaisnava some years also. In Vrindavan with Maharaj. So he came back to Prabhupada in 1974 in Mayapur. They worked together on that book, Upadeshamrita, that was published in 1975 in September. Upadeshamrita. So during that, they spent a lot of time together, Rishikesh Ananda and Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And they had many conversations which were recorded personally by Rishikesh Ananda. So he records a conversation where he says, when I was living in Vrindavan, he lived in Vrindavan from 1968 or 69 till 73. He was living with Baba Maharaj, Rishikesh Ananda. So he said in Vrindavan, because Prabhupada asked him, he said, what did you learn while you were in Vrindavan? He said, I learned about Raganuga. That's what everybody finds out when they come here. I learned about Raganuga Bhakti and Siddha Pranali. I learned about Siddha Pranali and Raganuga Bhakti and all this kind of stuff. And so Prabhupada said, and he said that the Guru gives the Siddha Pranali to the disciple, reveals 11 symptoms of the Siddha to the disciple. So Prabhupada, how will we get our Siddha? He said, Guru will give. Prabhupada said, Guru will give the Siddha. So that's the first answer he gave. And then he said, Well, what if the guru goes to the spiritual world, and you don't get to sit there before he goes? And he said the guru is always alive. He's always there. He says from there the guru will give the siddhaya. So from the spiritual world, the guru will give the siddhaya. So Prabhupada said that, and Aindra's an example of that same thing. That was said in 74, and Aindraja had the experience of the guru in the spiritual world giving a siddhaya. In 2008 or 9 or whenever he got a siddhaya. He left this world in 2010. 2007, 8 was somewhere towards near the end of his life. Prabhupada came in a dream. Prabhupada was gone in 1977. This is 2007, 30 years later. So, true to what Prabhupada said, you go in the spiritual world, I give you a siddhaya. So, he did. He gave it to Indra. Because Prabhupada, when a devotee speaks, he speaks satya vacha. Satyam vacham, he speaks the truth. So Prabhupada said, he said, Guru will give. The Prabhupada speaking the truth, the Guru gave. The Guru gave to Ishwara Krishna, Ishwara Puri Krishna, Ishwara Puri Das. The Guru gave to me, the Guru will give to you too. Ask your Guru, the Guru will give to you. Surprise Prabhupada.
Can I just ask something? Because I was just recently listening to Srila Prabhupada speaking. There is some walk, there is morning walks.
Yeah.
And he was speaking actually that this Siddha Pranali is actually concoction from some Babajis from Radha Kunda, but that this is actually not good because it will completely destroy the preaching mission. He said like this. I just recently listened.
What do you want to try? What's your question?
I think
I heard all his lectures.
the
I didn't
one who
know
is
this.
ready, who is really rigid and who is ready, then Guru gives. And those who are not maybe, I don't know. It's
You also
personal.
ask the Guru.
It's personal. You should ask.
Why not? Your father has money, you're not going to ask him for money?
So then, this is the
Your father's a millionaire. Did you ever ask your father? No, I'm shy. I'll ask for you. Your daughter wants some money.
Is the process that you should ask the Guru?
Why not?
No, I'm just asking. What is the usual process? Guru tell you, or you should ask?
If you don't ask, the Guru won't give.
If you don't ask, then the Guru will not give.
Yes. Why should he? It's a very special treasure. Huh?
Thank you. Good to know.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second, let me finish it.
Related to that topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
When can someone feel ready to ask Guru for his
Question is, when can the disciple feel that he or she is ready to ask the Guru to give siddhaya? Ask the girl next to you. Well, it's about prayojan. Question is, when does the disciple know when he or she is ready to ask the Guru for siddha pranali? It's about the prayojan. I remember I translated prayojan. Prayojan means the ultimate necessity. When one is associating with Krishna's Leela and reading about the services of the mantris to Radharani, for example, and one becomes extremely captivated by that reality and extremely attracted and really wants to be there, be introduced there, have a form there, have an acquaintance there, have a Yuteshri, be introduced to a Yuteshri, a group leader like Lalita Vishaka, and wants to be personally close to Radharani, be introduced to Radharani, have a stay with Radharani, and be with Radharani as her Saki Dasi. The need arises in the heart. I want to be part of this. I'm not tired of just reading about it. I'm tired about reading about meditation. I want to have a role there. I want some seva there. I want to be part of it. And now I'm looking at it, but I'm not inside it. I'm looking at it. I like what I'm looking at. I like what I'm thinking about. Right? Remembering it creates happiness and hope and satisfaction in my heart. But I'm not there. I'm not really inside with the whole family there. I don't have any introduction. So, Gurudev, can you give me Siddhanta? Well, I really want to be part of that. And you say all the things I just said. And I say, okay, let me meditate on your request and think about it. Or I'll say, come back, wait some time, come back in 3 months. I know Anantadas, I know disciples, they're my friends of Anantadas, because he's here. I've been here since 1994, living here full time. I've been here in this Radha Kunda since 2002. That's 20-some years. And usually when disciples ask, when they did ask Sri Anantadas Babaji for initiation, sometimes he said, okay, I'll initiate you tomorrow or next day, whenever was a good day, whenever you could conveniently do it. Or he would say, not now, wait sometime. I know one person he asked, was my good friend, he said, wait. So he waited for 1 year. So the Guru has his way of moving, way of stealing. But at least, because you don't ask, he or she, Guru, have a lot of things on their mind, a lot of disciples, a lot of seva, a lot of ideas and meditation, and their own spiritual bhajan. So, if you're not asking, you may not be on their mind. But if they may be observing, if they know you very well and observe your progress, and they're inspired in their heart, the Guru may ask the disciple also. Mostly I've seen cases, the disciple asks the Guru. It usually comes from the disciple up to the Guru. So you'll know yourself whether you want to really be there or just want to keep up with the gang. My girlfriend has it, I want to, but that's not the way to go. It should be an internal thirst, kind of greed, one different kind of greed to be right there. One of the, because what we find when we have introduction there, and we have a siddha given to us by a Guru, we feel when we read the same leelas, the same books we've been reading for 20, 30 years, because I got initiated with Siddhanta in 2014, I've been reading these books since 1989, so that's like 25 years, whatever. Reading all the same books I'm still reading. It changed my whole outlook, my whole feelings, everything changed just by that introduction. It just seemed like a piece of paper and some words in my ear. But the whole experience and personal relationship with Tulsi Mandri and Rupa Mandri and Radharani Vishaka, everything changed. When I read, I see Vishaka, something like Vishaka jumps out of the page. I see Tulsi Mandri, Tulsi jumps out of the page. Because, Tulsi, our main Mandri is Tulsi Mandri, Raghunath, and our Yateshwar is Vishaka. So, they're always in there, and all the pastimes are there. When I got Siddhanta, I became part of their family. Then I felt, Vishaka. Everything becomes very alive, very touchable, personal. That's my experience. I don't know about it. Another question? Okay, let me finish that one. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So, if I don't know my form and my seva and my everything, and I chant or some sort of bhajan, how do I know that if I see some lila or something that's happening, how do I know if that's just a wrong assumption and a fraud, or if it's true and real?
What specifically do you see? What specifically? You say you see Leela, what else?
If I see how it looks like, and
So what's the question? That's good. That's a good thing.
if that's real, or if it's just or if I actually
Is Krishna
commit a-
real or imagination?
yeah, if it's real, or if I commit an offense because I see something that's not like this.
The question is, if I'm seeing some pastime, is in a dream or in your just walking down the street or what?
No, when I chant.
When you're meditating, chanting and meditating. Question is, when I'm chanting and meditating and chanting Hari Krishna mantra and or meditating on Krishna's Leela, Radha Krishna Leela, I got some experience of that. Is this okay, or is this imagination, or am I making offense? It's okay. Wait. It's okay. It's a good thing. That's some kind of special blessing of Guru and Krishna. You're having some transcendental experience. Anything where that, like we're remembering Krishna, we're seeing some Leela, having some impression of Leela, or some impression of form of Krishna Radharani, it's a good thing. It's always a good thing. Because if nothing else, it's creating some samskar in our chitta. It's creating an impression in our chitta, which will continue to stay with us. So these impressions, these visions, these impressions are rising by the contact of Bhakti Shakti. Bhakti Shakti is Vladni Shakti and Samvid Shakti combined. So they're good. And Krishna Karamita commentary by Krishna's Kaviraj. Krishna Karamita is written by Bilbamangala Thakur. There's a commentary by Krishna's Kaviraj called Saranga Rangata Tika. On verse 2 of Krishna Karamita, he gives a commentary. He says, Jatarati. He says, even before one has attained Bhav, they can meditate on their Siddhanta. So they haven't attained Bhav, you haven't even attained Siddhanta, but you're already meditating on Krishna Lila. So that's fully approved by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in his commentary on Krishna Karamita. You can meditate on Siddhanta, which means also meditating on Lila and having some experience of Lila. That's really good. Keep doing like that. Yeah. It says GIRL. What does that t-shirt say? Upadi. So Upadi with Nirmuktam. Reinforcing your false identity. You have a t-shirt as Atma. Or Gopi, you should say Gopi or Manju or something like that. Question. Yes.
There is a verse in 12th 12th canto of Bhagavatam, I don't know exactly which, it's called Bhava Gita, something like this, but there is a verse, I remember it says that if someone serves me sincerely, lovingly, I will reveal them at the moment of death. I will reveal them their spiritual form, something like this. I can maybe look, but it's like Krishna said, I will reveal them at the moment of death, show them their spiritual form.
Okay,
What
good.
about this?
Wait for that.
What's
the question?
So then it's not Guru giving, but Krishna giving, or what? The spiritual identity.
What he's saying in the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, there's some sloka where Krishna says, for a pure devotee, at the time of death, I'll reveal the Siddhanta. So it's very clear that's a statement of Tattva. So there's also Leela to prove this point. That's in the 12th canto. In the first canto, very beginning of Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 6, verse 29. Describes Narada Muni had to practice sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. He came to the level of Bhava bhakti. He had symptoms of Bhava. Then he died. He was pure devotee when he died. At the time of death, Krishna brought a spiritual body from Vaikuntha and gave it to Narada Muni. At the time of death, in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 6, Krishna killed Putana. At the time of death, Krishna killed Putana and brought a spiritual body from the spiritual world and simultaneously gave her the body of a nurse. She became a wet nurse of Krishna to help Mother Yashoda feed Krishna milk in the spiritual world. So there are many examples. Gajendra in the 8th canto got a spiritual body bought by Krishna from the spiritual world. Gajendra the elephant got a spiritual body at death. Jamil got a spiritual body at death in the 6th canto. So there's many, 7 or 8 examples in Bhagavatam of devotees getting Siddhanta at the time of death brought by Krishna. I'll repeat, because you said Krishna gives, the Guru gives, whatever. Krishna gives the Siddhanta. That's the final point. How he gives it directly himself, he gives it through Guru, he gives it through dream, he gives it through the holy name. Many different ways Krishna gives us Siddhanta. Is that clear? So I repeated this 100 times already in the last year or so. Krishna gives a dream, Indra. Krishna gives directly 7 examples in Bhagavatam. Krishna gives a holy name. Jamil said a holy name, God Siddhanta holy name. Of course, he was in Holy Dham also, that helped. He was in Haridwar. He left his body in Haridwar, and he got a Vaikuntha roof. Human roof. Your hand is up? Nice hand. I read your palm, you read your left hand, I just read your right hand.
How to depend more on Guru and Krishna and be less independent?
Well, that's a tough one. How to be more dependent on, question is how to be more dependent on Guru and Krishna and less independent. As you get more spiritual knowledge, you realize what a fool you are. But until then, you think you're pretty smart. You have to be stupid to think you're independent. As you gain more spiritual knowledge, you realize your spiritual identity. As you realize the truth, the reality is spiritual, and this material reality is temporary reality. Being independent is part of the temporary reality called Maya. Krishna says one of the things he's independent is a mudha. Third chapter of Gita, verse 27. Kashvani. Volo, Kashvani localized version.
Prakriti kriyamana gunai karmani sarvataha ahankara mudasna karta hamiti manyate.
Nice Sanskrit. It says mudha, the verse says mudha. One of the things he's a doer, he's independent doer. He or she's stupid. Big ass. Mudha means donkey. Hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. Are you a donkey? Donkey. So the donkeys, they control his sticks. Hit him in the backside. Run, man! Take this little laundry. Take this bricks up the hill. Study more Shastra, because then you get what's called anubhav, experience, realization. Then you realize you get more knowledge and understanding of our real position, our finitude, our infinitesimal position as a tiny spirit soul. You realize your absolute dependence on Krishna for every breath, every drop of blood, every movement, everything is dependent on Krishna. Then you can finally throw your arms up in the air and say, Sharanagati, Prabhu, Sharanagati, means, oh Master, oh Krishna, oh Bhagavan, I surrender to you. Oh Gurudev, I surrender. It doesn't come easy. It requires a lot of intelligence to give up independence. It takes lifetimes. Sometimes some things happen where we have a great boost of realization. Part of our independence is based on our machine. The machine we're sitting in, Yantra Udaya Maya. The body is a yantra, it's a machine made of Prakriti. And when it works great, and the subtle body and the gross body work great, then it bolsters our independent spirit, independent mentality. But when we get incapacitated or crippled or lose our independence, physical independence and mental independence, if we're spiritually minded or inclined, it's a great boost to surrender to God. I know I had experience. Sometimes Krishna forces us to be in a situation where we're dependent. That's a great blessing. It says in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 88th chapter, verse number 8. Yasyam anugrinami. You know that verse? You know it before. I'll look it up.
I don't remember these numbers, but when I hear the verse, then I recognize.
Say, you tell me the verse? Anyway, I think I got it here. Got my trusty verse book here. My external hard drive. This one's not working too good. Internal hard drive is not working. Yes, I'm on the green line. Yeah, Hari's got it. The word Hari has to be there. This is 1088, 10th Canto 88. Krishna's telling to Indradev. I don't know if that's correct, Indradev. I think he's telling you this too. Indradev. I don't know, it says inundated. Anyway, Krishna speaking to someone. Yasyam anugrinami harishye tad danam shane tato danam jet yasya swadana dukkha dukhitam. Krishna says, if I especially favor someone, if I want to give you special mercy, I'll take everything away. I gradually take away his wealth, his money. Money means independence. You can say it takes away independence or takes away his money. Specific verse is dhanam. I take away his money. And then his relatives, friends, abandon that poverty-stricken devotee who is deeply affected by distress. When you lose your independence, you become dukkha dukhitam. Dukkha means, sukha means happiness, dukkha means unhappiness. Dukkha dukhitam. Dukhitam means uttam dukhi. Uttam dukhi means big time dukhi. Uttam means topmost. Uttam bhagavat, uttamadikari. Uttama shloka, gananavadat. You become dukhitam, uttam dukhi, you become very miserable, very unhappy when you have to depend on others. I know very well. So that's a blessing. I don't wish that blessing upon everybody. Keep independent, enjoy. I'm not going to interfere with the boat ride, no. I'm not going to give you a flat tire. If you're going fast, having a good time, keep going. Slow and steady wins the race. Just keep doing bhakti. One thing you have to be convinced of, I'm in good hands. I'm in Krishna's hands. I'm Krishna's devotee. I'm Krishna's Dasi. Krishna's taking care of me. Whatever is good for me, Krishna will give me. Whatever is bad for me, Krishna will give me that too. Whatever good I need to get, Krishna give me the good. Whatever bad I need to get bad, He'll give me the bad. Whatever reward I need to get, Krishna give me the reward. Whatever slap and punishment I need to get, Krishna give that to me too. I have to have that faith. Krishna is our well-wisher. Prabhupada Swami, our eternal well-wisher. Krishna's not. Original well-wisher is Krishna. He loves his devotees. So his love comes in different forms. Love comes as misery, love comes as disease, love comes as accidents, love comes as loss, love comes as praises, love comes as promotion, love comes as gifts. It's all part of love. In material life and spiritual life. But whatever Krishna gives us is for good. Material life is good and bad, it's mostly bad. But whatever Krishna gives us is good. They say God is good. Satyam Sundaram Shivadam. The Upanishads describe Bhagavatam in these three words, three S's. Shivadam, Satyam, Sundaram. The Absolute is beautiful. Absolute is truthful. And Absolute is auspicious. Shiva means auspicious. So it's good I was sick. Oh, so happy. I can't walk, I can't talk. I can't feed myself. I can't swallow light, I can't swallow my medicine. I had to powder my medicine, mix it with honey so I can swallow, because I can't swallow. I'm like zero dysfunctional. I directly experienced all that. So you say, hey Krishna, nice little going on here. This how you love me? Okay. Your love is mystifying. He's a very special lover. But he has something good in store for me, I know that. So, okay. Every pain is worth it. If you're going somewhere good. Tolerate, tolerate, tolerate. Chant, chant, chant. Can't. There's a cartoon in the New York Times in 1965. They cut out the paper and brought it back and posted it in a bulletin board in 2nd Avenue. There was a bulletin board, for sale old car, and for sale guitar, and, different things for devotee bulletin board, announcements, room for rent and stuff like that. So they cut out the cartoon. And it was a guy watching television, and his wife was holding a newspaper, and he said, "Listen, the Swami's in town. He's telling people to chant, chant, chant." And then the next cartoon is the husband saying, with his hand up in the air, "Can't, can't, can't." So the New York Times newspaper had a cartoon making a joke of the Hari Krishna. Swami's in town, telling everyone to chant, chant, chant was the headline. So Krishna's telling us to tolerate. He's putting the screws on, like, wow. This is painful. Are you going to quit? Are you going to run away? Are you going to pack up your bags and go to Tenerife? Going to Portugal? I'm going to Italy? I'm booking out. I'm going to Morocco. Goodbye, Krishna. Don't send any mail to me. Forget about it, Krishna. I'm no good. I'm going to Maya. Goodbye. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Next question?
Jai Sri Radhe Maharaj.
What's up? Jai Sri Radhe.
My question is, when and how anarthas will end?
Question is when and how anarthas will end. They won't. Now what? As long as you got this body, you have anarthas. Till you get your spiritual body, you have anarthas. You get your spiritual body, you have Bhava Bhakti and Prema. Anarthas will be there all the way to Prema. So enjoy them. The answer, how do I get rid of anarthas? Navavida Bhakti, hear and chant and remember Krishna. That's the process. Chaitanya Dharmana Marjanam. The consciousness heart becomes cleansed by Bhakti Bhajan. Karmani nirhati chakintu Bhakti Bhajan. In verse 56 of Brahma Samhita, Brahma says, Karmani nirhati kintu cha Bhakti Bhajan. By doing Bhakti Bhajan, all the karma gets destroyed. So all the kleshas and all the anarthas are caused by punya karma and papa karma. Creates all anarthas. So our stockpiled prapta karma is causing all these problems we're facing. So that's destroyed, that karma is nirhati. Nirhati means destroyed by Bhakti Bhajan. Bhakti Bhajan means hearing and chanting about Krishna. The most powerful form of Bhakti Bhajan is saying Harinam Sankirtan. It's Javama and Sankirtan. That's the most powerful. More powerful than reading, more powerful than meditation, more powerful than puja, everything. It's told by Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it's called Sankhya. You have to do a regulated sadhana every day, chant a fixed number of rounds, read Gita every day, read Bhagavatam every day, offer all your food to Krishna with Tulsi Patra, be pure vegetarian, all the 4 principles of pure life. And by, your heart will become pure and your mind will become peaceful, and then joy will fill your heart. Jai Radhe. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Question, what time is it?
4:28. 4:28.
Thank you. Easy question? Got a whole book there. She's a teacher, professor herself, she's a student.
Maharaj, in a lot of cases, 2 questions, Maharaj. First is related to what Secretary asked. So, what do we tell our mind generally if we are relying on Kripa for doing our sadhana? So, the mind says okay, so it's okay, you have to depend on the Kripa only. So, ultimately, there is a non-doership. You don't need to do anything, you have to rely on Kripa. So, how does it work?
Kripa's going to cook your dinner also for your husband? So the question is, just go to sleep and say, Kripa, and we'll come an hour later in the kitchen, the whole meal will be ready. I don't think so. You can live like that, you won't be living too much longer on a Kripa. So the question is, since we're not the doers, Bhagavan and Paramatma and material nature and so many factors are working together to accomplish any activity. So we're one of the factors. The 18th chapter of Gita, Krishna describes 5 factors of action. So you're talking about action. Devotional service is action. Bhakti yoga is a type of karma yoga. We're doing not karma yoga, but it's action where we're using our senses to think and act for Krishna. So the 5 factors of action, one is the doer, the indriya, the karan is the body, the senses, the actor, the doer, the atma. Then there's the place, then there's the daiva, daiva means God, and there's time, and what else, that's it. The action, so these are the 5 factors of action. So Bhagavan is one factor of action is daiva. Daiva means Krishna. Another factor of action is karta, means the doer. That means us. So we have to act. The whole Bhagavad Gita is to inspire Arjuna to act on duty. So we act on duty. So Kripa action. Kripa means following the teaching of the Shastra. The Kripa, the mercy, the Kripa is the Shastra injunctions, the teaching of Shastra and the teaching of Guru. So you carry out the teaching of Shastra and teaching of Guru, you get the Kripa. If you don't carry out the instruction of the Guru and Shastra, you don't get the Kripa. And we get the Kripa gives you the ability to do action. Krishna says in Gita, I am the ability of man. Purusham Nishu, I am the ability in human beings. The ability is Krishna. So you have to get connected to Krishna. How you get connected to Krishna? By following Shastra and by following Guru. So Guru says, chant 16 rounds a day, follow these principles, study Gita every day, study Bhagavatam, do puja, and live a pure life. So you do that, then you get Kripa, which Kripa translates into power, translates into action, translates into seva. But the beginning of the whole thing is submission of your ego. The Kripa, Guru Kripa, Krishna Kripa, enter into you, and stay with you, and work with you, and energize you by surrender. Guru Padashaya. Diksha begins with the bondage, not bondage, the type of bondage. Relationship with Krishna and Guru begins with surrender. But that's every day we have a relationship with Guru, not just one time I get Diksha. One time I surrender, okay, well, that's it. Every day we have to surrender. So every day you surrender to the teaching of Guru and Shastra. Every day you get Kripa. By that surrender, that Kripa transfers into power, and that power translates into energy to do seva. Understand? So you say, I show my Kripa, I cook my husband's dinner tonight. So I just Kripa, where's Kripa go? Kripa go to the kitchen and cook. You're the Kripa. You're the Kripa Shakti Murti. You're the Murti, you're the Kripa Shakti Murti. The Guru is called Kripa Shakti Murti. So the disciples also Kripa Shakti Murti. He's Guru Kripa Shakti Murti. The Guru is the form of Krishna's Kripa, a Guru's Kripa, and Guru is the form of Krishna's Kripa. That's why it's called. So the Kripa is Krishna's Kripa coming to Guru and to you. Now you have the Kripa. Now you're a Murti of Kripa. And Kripa does so many things. Cooks nice meals. Plays nice kartals. Does nice filming. Does nice translating, editing. Helping other people, teaching. Being a good devotee. So Kripa is doing everything. I agree with you. Have more of it. Surrender more, study more, serve more, and you get more Kripa. More is more. Spiritual life, more is more. Material life, more is less. You have more material things, more material money, means less spiritual activity. More Maya. That's why saints and sadhus become niskinchan. Kinchan means a little, nish means not even a little. Because niskinchan sadhu, they try to have as little things as possible. Little few, hardly nishkin. Kinchan means, the word kinchan means a little bit. They don't even want a little bit of Maya, they don't want any Maya. Okay, what's the question? Next question, okay.
Maharaj, when one becomes qualified to take bath in Radha Kunda? When one becomes qualified to take bath in Radha Kunda?
When is one become qualified to take bath in Radha Kunda? Come here in June. Come here in June, do Prikrama Giraj. To start Radha Kunda, do Prikrama Giraj. By the time you get back, you'll be kissing the water of Radha Kunda. You'll just go in there and sizzle down. You hit the water go shh. I was giving a demonstration. I didn't know what it meant. I don't know. So that's when you're qualified to take bath in Radha Kunda. Come to Radha Kunda, June 15th, to Giraj Prikrama from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. So nice, 40 degrees hot, nice. And you'll see Radha Kunda, Jaya! You'll drive right. You'll be the happiest guy in the world to see Radha Kunda. The eligibility to bathe in Radha Kunda is desire. Anyone tells you anything different is cracked. No, to be more sober, more realistic here. Basically, we should have the blessings of Guru to do anything. Our Gurus are 6 Goswamis. They're the 6 Gurus for the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. The 6 Gurus are encouraging everyone to take bath in Radha Kunda. They're not describing any adhikar required to first bathe. They just say anyone who bathes here gets so much mercy. They don't mention anywhere in any shastra, any adhikar, any requirement or anything required to bathe here. Except you wear a gamcha and a t-shirt or something like that. Lady or whatever. T-shirt and pair of shorts or whatever. I don't know. No bikinis. Spare the sadhu. They haven't mentioned any qualification. Individual gurus may not allow their disciples to bathe here. That's unfortunate for those disciples. There's no shastra basis for that. Six Goswamis, as I said, are six gurus for the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj and Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse 25 or so. It's in the beginning of the book. Rupa Goswami wrote all about the glories of Radha Kunda, bathing Radha Kunda. Raghunath Das described the bathing of Radha Kunda. Gopal Chambu Jiva Goswami describes the glories of bathing Radha Kunda. Everywhere the Goswamis describe the glories and benefit of bathing Radha Kunda. Also in Padma Puran describes Radha Kunda bath also. So it's a very ancient practice of bathing in Radha Kunda, and it's very beneficial. Lord Chaitanya personally rediscovered the location of Radha Kunda, which became covered over time. It was manifested on Chaitra Purnima. Radha Kunda was manifested in this world on Chaitra Purnima by Krishna himself and Radharani. Krishna manifested Shamakund, Radharani manifested Radha Kunda. On Purnima night of Chaitra Maya and Chitra Nakshatra, which this year falls on April 6th at midnight, which is this Thursday. It's an appearance day. So whoever you are who asks the question, I invite you to come here to Radha Kunda at midnight and bathe in Shamakund and Radha Kunda. Sri Radha Kunda ki Jai! Jai Jai Sri Radhe! Good night. You look tired. Kids, yeah. Kids are a burden of love. Good morning.
All night, not sleep.
Yeah, I know, I can see that. Yeah, it's sacrifice. We owe our parents so much. Can never pay back the debt to our mother and father. That's why in the Shastra it says mother and father Adi Guru. Especially mother, Adi Guru. Original first Guru is mother. Question. Yeah.
Back to the point of when you were talking in terms of the three, so in Abhidheya, how to not get carried away with wanting to be at the goal in the current state that you are in between that sandwich, and to kind of accept your duty and perform that, although you may believe that it's counterproductive to the goal, but understanding that that's like something that you process or go through, or is that just a construct in your mind and you need to kind of get past that to clear into your goal?
I think I understand your question. Can you rephrase it more specifically? I understand what you're talking about, but I'd like to think it more again and present it more clearly.
How to accept the stage in what you were at work towards the goal with like authenticity and truth
Integrity.
and that.
Nice question. The way he's asking question. We earlier talked about being enchanted by the prayojan of the goal of being with Krishna and serving Krishna in a loving relationship in the kingdom of prema. But we're here in this world, we have so many duties we have to do, family duties and personal duties or careers and other things that we're involved with. So how do we be inspired to continue? Where do we draw the priority of just dropping all our duties and concentrating fully on the goal? And that's what you're saying? There's no patent answer for that question. That's an individual decision one has to arrive at. Because you can't give up your duties also. It's like, duty is God. It's a fact, because duty means dharma. The word dharma is translated also as duty. So duty means I'm in a particular position in this world and I have things I have to do. The things I have to do are ordered by the Shastras. I'm married, I have to take care of my wife and family. I just want to do bhajan. I don't want to go to work, I want to stay home and do bhajan. I have to work, it's my duty. So I want to do so, I have so much thirst and desire to do bhajan. I just stay home and read all day and meditate or chant or serve my deities. I have to go to work, I have to go to school, I have to study, get more knowledge of my field or practice, whatever. Or go to the gym, I have to keep my strength. And so that's not bhajan, but it's necessary for health. So it's just slow and steady wins the race. That's why in Shamrita, Gopal Swami describes the key factors of bhajan. The key points, the key principles of bhajan are there, very nicely told. When Prabhupada printed that book, he told Rameshwar BBT in charge, he said, print 100,000 copies. He said, why? There's only 6,000 disciples in the movement. It's a book only for devotees. And Prabhupada said, this book's for everybody. So what happened? We printed 100,000 copies, like Prabhupada said. Actually, we didn't print, I think we printed 10,000 first time, then 20,000. What we found, because I was a book distributor, I was there in Los Angeles at the time I was living there, it was 1975 when it was printed and started being distributed. What we found, many types of yoga people were coming to buy that book. They didn't care about any book of Hari Krishna except that book, Shamrita, because it has basic principles of yoga, controlling the mind and senses and all these things. Vajravegam, Manasakota and how to express love. There's some very good points and principles there. So we sold thousands and thousands of copies to yoga students and college students, and psychology classes and many things. So there he talked about key points of bhajan. One of the most important points he talked about is patience. Nishcharat, Daryat. Utsaha, Nishcharat, Daryat. Enthusiasm, steadiness, and patience. We're enthusiastic. We go into the Amrita all day and go for Krishna Bhavanamrita and all these kind of books and chant japa and sing bhajans. We have to put it all down and get to work. You gotta work at 9 o'clock, take a bath, get dressed. That's life. You have to extend, that's just part of being a devotee. Everything is there. Just like Radha has her duties, she has duties at home, she has to do her Vastu Puja before she leaves the house. She has so many duties to do before she goes out. So everywhere there's duties and that's part of Dharma. That's Lokik Dharma and there's a Lokik Dharma. A Lokik Dharma means Sanatana Dharma, means for the soul. A Lokik Dharma is for the body. So we have body and soul, we have to do 2 dharmas. So we patiently carry on and wait for that time. We have more and more time to do bhajan. You're young, you probably have family and job and so many things. The time will come when you have more time for bhajan. But set your life, set your course, and go patiently and peacefully and happily do your duty with strength and enthusiasm you derive from your bhajan. Make your duty more peaceful and easy to carry out. If you give up your duty, you'll fail. You'll fail in bhajan also. So if you give up your responsibilities, you'll get bad karma for that. Next life you'll have to suffer. Again, this life, you're married, have a kid, okay? I don't know, that's not my business. Just an example. Say a young guy have a kid, and you don't not getting along with your wife or girlfriend or whatever. So you say, I'm going to do bhajan, goodbye, and you run away. So that's some kind of bad karma created there by that activity, whatever the cause. So when the next life, you'll have to, that karma will come back on you. Karma is very entangling thing. Unless you do pure bhajan, that dissolves all your karma. So better be patient, that's what I said, patience. Be patient, do what you have to, you know what you have to do, just do it. With enthusiasm, with strength. Take strength from Krishna. Krishna gives us strength to do our duty. We're doing our duty, it's our duty. Arjuna wanted to chill out. I don't want to fight. And Krishna said, do your duty. He insisted. He didn't want to do his duty. It's the whole Gita is about duty. He said, I want to be with you, I just want to hang out with you. No, you can't. You want to hang out with you, you have to do your duty. He said, okay. I'll drive your chariot. You shoot arrows, I'll drive your chariot. So that's the same thing. We're doing our duty, Krishna's with us. Who's sending our customers to us? Krishna. Not me, I have some Krishna ball. Oh, and here comes a guy, he come to my website. Sign up for my courses. Krishna's sending you customers. Krishna's sending you business, online business, whatever you're doing, Yeah, it's my face, it's getting my customers. Could be also. Can't discount that. But yeah, the good-looking Swamis on the net have the most followers. The good-looking Pracharaks have the biggest followers. So that also works. But ultimately, Krishna's doing everything. So do your duty and do your bhakti. Duty hurts, bhakti. Bhakti gives pleasure, duty hurts. We work, then it's my day off. Off means on. You don't say it's my day on, I'm off. 5 days a week, I'm off. At work. Now I'm going to play. Krishna's always playing, no work for Krishna. Vrindavan. Vrindavan's a playland of Krishna. Dwarka is the workland of Krishna. Hastinapur is Indraprastha is the workland of Krishna. Kurukshetra is the workland. Vrindavan is playland of Krishna. If you want to live with the Lord of play, you have to chant your days away. That's what my screen knows. If you want to live with the Lord of play, you have to chant your days away. Just chant. Live with Krishna. Valentina, tell me questions. She's wrapped up. Hello, calling Valentina. Is she alive? Ding dong.
Question.
She's really up. She's really fired up. Okay, good. Yes, there are 3 questions. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Jaya Radhe Swami. Okay. Any other questions? What time is it now?
4:53.
4:53. 7 more minutes.
Next question.
What's that question?
What can I ask to ask you? Where is written in Shastra that the appearance day of Radha Kunda is in Chaitra Purnima?
What does it say?
Well, it's written in Shastras that appearance of Radha Kunda in Chaitra Purnima.
In the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, the question is, where does it say in Shastra that Chaitra Purnima is the appearance day of Radha Kunda? In the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 45, in the commentary of Jiva Goswami, Vaishnava Toshini, he says, and that is a very extensive, long purport commentary, and he explains the different times the different leelas were performed, different leelas in Krishna Leela, when they were done. So he says in Chaitra Maya, Chaitra Purnima, Krishna killed Aristasura demon and created Shamakun, and following that, creating the Shamakun, Radharani created Radhakund. Jiva Goswami and Gopal Champu, book by Jiva Goswami, I think it's in first part, chapter 8, or maybe chapter 30, verse number 8, I forget. He describes the killing of Aristasura. He said Aristasura was killed in Chaitra Maya when the full moon was in Chitra Nakshatra. There's 27 nakshatras. Nakshatra means stars. Every month there's 27 different stars. In the 30 days there's 27 different stars. This year on April 6th, when sun rises, the nakshatra that day is Hasta nakshatra. But at 12:30 in the afternoon, Hasta nakshatra disappears from the sky and Chitra nakshatra takes over. So from 12 noon at night until about 10 o'clock the next morning on April 7th, Chitra nakshatra is ruling the nighttime sky. So on April 6th, that's how we calculate it. At April 6th at midnight is Chitra nakshatra, and that's very same day, very same star, Krishna killed Aristasura made Shamakun. This is the proof of Jiva Goswami and Gopal Chambu and Srimad Bhagavatam. And ISKCON GBC, there's an organization called ISKCON, I think you've heard of it. International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. They passed the GBC official resolution 2019 to change their calendar to correct the mistake they made. Because previously the calendar of ISKCON said Kartik Balalastami, Krishna Paksha Astami, Balalastami and Kartik was the appearance day, and they found out that's wrong. And they may want to make a correction. So they passed an official resolution, which means a law, to change the ISKCON calendar. So the official calendar of ISKCON The appearance of Radha Kunda is Chaitra Purnima, which is April 6, 2023. Yeah.
It doesn't say that that day is like a second Radha.
What do you say?
It said that that day is also like Radha.
It's Radhastami?
Yes, second. Because Radha Kunda is same as Radha Rani.
If she can say it, can you say it's Radhastami? You can say it's Radha Purnima.
Yeah.
She asked the question, like Radharani appears in Vajramayana on Shukla Astami of Vajramayana. Krishna appears on Vajramayana Krishna Astami. Dark time, dark moon. Shukla means light moon. So can you say that when Radha Kunda appears in Chaitra Purnima, that's Radhastami? I said, no, you can say it's Chaitra, you can say Radha Purnima. Hindi will say Radha Purna. If they say Purnasya, they say Purna. Well, it sounds weird. It sounds like another word. It's a funny word. But it's, you can say it. I can't say it. You can say it's appearance of Radharani. The idea you're trying to convey, Radharani appears on Radhastami, and she also appears, because Radha Kunda is not different from Radharani. So come celebrate the appearance of Radharani in her most merciful form as Radha Kunda on April 6th. Is that okay? Okay. Questions? These are funny birds. These birds, at 12 o'clock at 1 o'clock at night, they fly around singing like this. So they're crazy birds. I'll see what? Sun's not rising, what? Sun's not setting, what? What's your idea? There's an ecstasy, that's what. Funny bird, I don't know what. Funny birds. They are chanting Hare Krishna, ecstasy.
Birds, a lot of birds at your place.
Yeah. We feed them, we have to feed it. Yeah. It's springtime, there's a lot of birds. Summer is pretty quiet. Did you say Morka? What did you say?
Akka.
Didi.
Oka.
Oh.
Oh, God.
He says Oka.
I thought you were saying Morka. What did you say?
Hey. Oh means hey. Hey Radhe. Oh Akka.
Oh, Akka.
Sambodhana.
He called Radhika. Akka means Didi.
Akka means what?
Didi, sister.
Older sister.
Elder sister.
Didi.
Hedi?
Didi.
Akka
Telugu.
means Didi.
Akka?
Akka
Telugu.
means Didi.
Telugu.
Telugu.
Yes.
That's that little girl.
Yes.
Akka girl.
What's she saying? She says something Russian back to him? He's speaking Telugu, she answers in Russian? What's going on here? Yeah.
There's no question on it. My obeisance is Gurudeva. In Manach Shiksha, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami instructs us to take shelter of Swarup Damadara and Srila Rupa Goswami in verse 3. Gurudeva, can you please elaborate on what we should apply and learn on this verse? Manach Shiksha, verse 3.
The question is Das Goswami's Manashiksha?
Das Goswami.
He's saying we should take shelter of
Swarup Damadara and Srila Rupa Goswami.
So we should take shelter of Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami. What do we learn from this verse?
Can you please
Elaborate on the meaning of
what
this.
we should apply and learn on this verse?
What we should apply and learn from this verse. This verse, the Manashiksha, like so many verses of Stavavali, because Manashiksha is part of Stavavali, Raghunath Das Goswami is glorifying Rupa Goswami. Because Raghunath Das Goswami is extremely indebted to Rupa Goswami, because Rupa Goswami instructed him in Raganuga Bhakti and also in Manjari Bhava Upasana. So his Shiksha Guru is Rupa Goswami. So as followers of Raganuga Bhakti, we also should be strict followers of Rupa Goswami. So what we should gather from this is the necessity in Sadhguru and Siddharup to make a firm relationship with Rupa Goswami and Rupa Manjari. So to make a firm relationship with Sadhguru, with Rupa Goswami, by studying Ujjvala Nilamani, Vidagna Madhav, and Ubhayashamrita and Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. These are the important books of Rupa Goswami, Vidagna Madhav, and Savamala, Ubhayashamrita, Ujjvala Nilamani. These books are essential for bhajan and ragmarg and manjari bhava upasana. Swarup Damodar, he was the Shiksha Guru for Raghunath Das in Jagannath Puri, appointed by Lord Chaitanya himself. So Swarup Damodar is the Lita Sakhi. So we don't find any specific teachings of Swarup Damodar that we can follow exactly. But the emphasis of this verse, practically speaking, means to follow Rupa Goswami, to very diligently and seriously study his books over and over again, and pray for his mercy in the form of Rupa Goswami and the form of Rupa Manjari also. Because Rupa Manjari is the leader of the Manjaris, and arranges all the seva for different Manjaris, and arranges for Manjaris to meet Radharani, to serve Radharani. So Rupa Manjari is very important in Siddharup meditation, and Rupa Goswami is very important for the development of our Manjari Bhav and Sadhguru. So we have to study and pray to Rupa Goswami. This is the example of Raghunath Das. Every single book he always has a prayer to Rupa Goswami. Sometimes many prayers. Every poem, every prayer he wrote, he always has at least one Mangalacharna offering respects to Rupa Goswami. The Krishnadas Kaviraj, he's indebted to both Rupa and Raghunath. Because he received so many teachings from Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das. So Krishnadas Kaviraj ends every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm very eager to attain the dust of the feet, the mercy and teachings of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. So we should be the same way. So I can say that we should don't neglect Rupa Goswami. We have to make a very strong bondage and sambandha with Rupa Goswami and bhajan life and Rupa Manjari and meditation life and Siddhanta. Any more questions? Do you have any questions?
Just a lot, no?
Ask one. We have time for a couple more hours.
507.
No, no. You can ask another one.
So if we're unable to reside in Braj yet, how is the best way to live and be in the mood of Vrindavan with you wherever you are?
If we can, I like the way you said that. It's very nice. It shows Vrindavan has a special place in your heart. The way he asked, he said, if we're not able to live in Vrindavan full time yet, there were three letters. 3 letters like a red flag flying over your heart, you know. A very nice flag. That gave indication of your heart. Your heart is in Vrindavan. So that's the answer to your question, the YET. The question is, we're not able to live in Vrindavan yet, and we're living outside now. How do we stay in Braj consciousness and Braj Bhav outside the Dham? I've asked this question many times, and I give different answers each time. So I'll give a different answer this time. We can stay in touch with Braj and keep the spirit of Braj by always keeping connected with people in Braj. There's many people who live in Vrindavan you can stay connected with. There's different Babajis, there's different Goswamis, there's different sadhus, there's different ladies and gentlemen that are singing about Vrindavan, speaking about Vrindavan, speaking Hari Katha. So they're available on YouTube and SoundCloud and everywhere. So you try as much as possible, hear their Hari Katha, those people, those sadhus and sadhvis of Vrindavan. Vrindavan means Radha Kunda, Barsana, all Vrindavan. Hear their Hari Katha, see their faces, and see their ashrams and temples in the background. That's one important way, because what is required about Vrindavan is to get the Braja Bhav. Get the Bhav of the hearts that's in, of the hearts of the devotees who live here. This is what's special about the speciality of this place, which we all need to get. We need to get Braja Bhav. It's a special kind of feeling towards Radha and Krishna. It's a special type of attitude, and a special way of thinking that comes by living all the time in Vrindavan. So you want to live here, not just to live here, you can live any place, but you want the Bhav of Vrindavan, you want the Bhav of Vishwasi, and you want a specific Bhav, you want Gopi Bhav or Manjri Bhav. So you hear from the sadhus or Manjri Bhav, Gopi Bhav, and see the sadhus or Manjri Bhav, Gopi Bhav. And that hankering, and always maintain that fire of desire to live in Vrindavan. Read books about Vrindavan, collect all the books online or whatever, look at the books all about Vrindavan, different temples of Vrindavan, different holy places, Radha Kunda, Barsana, all the places that you like, Govishwara, like this now I have so many books about Vrindavan, picture books. I live here for 36 years. I'm looking at books about Vrindavan all the time. I'm looking at books about Vrindavan and different temples, and I have different memories, different feelings of those places. So I feel because we're eye-oriented, we're visual people, everything's eyes. The eyes say so much just in the eyes. So feast your eyes on Vrindavan. If you look at beautiful pictures of Vrindavan, or scenes of Vrindavan, paintings of Leelas, Vrindavan Leelas, paintings, Somebody sent me a painting of Krishna tying on Radharani's ankle bells by Mr. Banerjee. He's a Bengali artist, Brahmin from Bengal. He did a lot of paintings in 1910, 1920. Very old, tasteful paintings. Right, Krishna. So, really nice paintings. And Krishna's stirring Radharani, tying ankle bells on her feet. I sent it to a bunch of devotees. Everybody wrote, oh, this is great. This is so beautiful. So, like that, share pictures with each other. Look at pictures of Krishna Leela, or the Leelas you like. If you like Radha Krishna Leela, you looking at all those pictures, reading about Radha Krishna deities from Madan, and seeing all the Leela stories, and praying to Krishna, and taking care of Tulsi plant, many Tulsi plants, and serving Tulsi, and praying to Gopal Mahadev, and Tulsi Maharani, Yogamaya. Please give me money. Please give me more money so I can run back to Vrindavan again and again and again. The hankering to be in Vrindavan, always desiring to be in Vrindavan, and trying to stay in touch with Vrindavan, all your senses, your eyes and ears and nose, and most of your eyes and your ears and your mind and heart. They're always reaching out for Vrindavan, hankering Vrindavan, yet, I'm going, it's like, where you came from? I just came from Madan. What are you doing? I'm waiting to go back. What are you doing now? No, I have to be here for 6 months, 8 months. I'm going back for Karti. So you're either just coming from Vrindavan or on the way to Vrindavan. This is a healthy way to be. Oh, yes, you're back. Where were you? I was in Vrindavan. Where are you? I'm in London. I'm going back to Vrindavan soon. Where are you going? I'm thinking about going to Radha, surprise Maharaj. What's up? I like that. That's how to stay in touch with Vrindavan. If you want to, if there's a will, there's a way. Is your friend? So you look like you like Vrindavan. Oh, yeah, nice.
Grew up.
You grew up here? Oh, nice. Where? You were born here?
Not born here, but when I was 4, we moved over to Vrindavan. Went to Gopal.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you. I just don't recognize you with
Yeah,
that.
there's new things, new development. I've come before also.
Yeah, I seen you. I seen you a lot before. I know your face. Look good also. Rishi Sadhu. That's a handsome guy. Is that your girlfriend or wife? Friend.
To be wife.
To be?
If
Yeah.
it wills.
She doesn't look too positive. Yeah. Whatever it is, be happy. That's nice, you're a lucky person. Since 4 years old. So. Very lucky. I think that's it. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.